start with some stretching. Should we start with our little stretching? Because we all know how to do that, don't we? So, we're going to start, and by the time I finish stretching, do not worry, Natalie will be joining us. We'll just go down on our hands and knees. We'll do a little cat-dog stretch. So, little arching your back, and a little pushing forward, and looking up. And cat, arching your back. When you've just rolled out of bed like me, it's so important that I do this movement. And then as I bend my elbows a little bit as I go and go into the dog. But I just noticed my spine really needs a warm up. I think just the bones feeling stiffer. And then arch your back. And just feel the stretch. And then one more. Look up. Don't sort of hyper-extend. Just stretch out more towards your hip. And then curl in. Okay. And then we're going to do the one to the front, where we're going to put, so I hope you can see, we're going to put one leg out to the side, like that. And then we'll lift our arm up, stretch it out. And then we'll go down and through and thread the needle, as it were, up, stretch it out, and then come down gently through, and then up, stretch it out. Natalie, if you're looking at us, I'm just waiting for you, so I'm just going to finish off this stretch and then get you on. And stretch across, and then go to the other leg. Put that out, up in the air. You might find, and then do remember actually to push back your hip, because you'll get a better stretch inside your inner thigh. So up, and then push through, and push back a little bit. When you do that, you can feel your inner thigh stretch. And then up, really open up that shoulder, and then through, and then up, and then through, and one more, up, and through. Great, okay, so you stay on the mat. I'll just check if Natalie's here. If not, we're going to lie on our back, and we'll open and close our backs. I think that's such a good one. You see there where she is. There she is, Nat. We might do that anyway. She's coming. Hello, darling.
Good morning, Trinny. How are you?
Very well. So we've just done the first two, which is just that sort of, you know, the side one. We haven't lain on our backs yet.
How are you feeling today? How are the hips?
I'm feeling like I'm not going to do really tough stuff, but don't let that stop other people.
Okay, because I had in mind a mat Pilates workouts, and you know that can be very tough, but I thought we'd do more traditional Pilates.
That sounds great. Is everyone up for the mat Pilates workout? I feel the thighs toning up as I speak those words.
Excellent. Right, let's get the mats ready. So you're going to start off by lying down on your mat. So you're going to lie down on your mat, and we'll actually start off drawing attention to our breathing. So I want you to lie down, place your hands on your ribs, make sure your feet are nice and flat, and you've got a gentle arch in the lower back, hands on your rib cage. And I want you to take a deep breath in and focus on expanding the ribs out to the side as well as front and back. So you're really maximizing your lung capacity here. Deep breath in through the nose. And then you exhale through a slightly pursed lip. And you want to feel that your belly button is gently drawing down towards your spine and your rib cage is coming back together. And then again, you take a deep breath in, and this time I want you to think about you're at the back of your ribs gently pushing into your mat. So you're inhaling through the nose. And it's just really good to get as much oxygen into the body when you first wake up in the morning. Really is a nice energy boost, especially for the brain. And again, deep breath in through the nose. And exhale through that slightly pursed lip. Then I want you to place your thumbs on your bottom ribs and your middle fingers on your hip bones. Take a deep breath in through your nose again. And this time as you exhale, you're going to tuck the hips in and gently push your lower back down onto your mat. So you're creating what we call imprint in Pilates. And then inhale, you release. And what hopefully you'll notice is with your thumbs and your middle fingers, the space increases between them as you push your hips into the mat, and the space decreases as you imprint your back and you tuck your hips in.
Where am I putting my fingers again?
So thumbs on your bottom ribs. So just find your bottom rib and your middle fingers on the hip bones, or which is the ASS, the knobbly bit at the front of the hips. And so you want to increase the space as you push the hips in, and then you decrease the space between your thumb and your middle fingers as you tuck the hips and the lower back is on the mat. And you're going to hold that now, and that is called imprint. So you're going to hold your imprinted spine. Okay, from there, what I want you to do is float one leg into a tabletop. So you're going to lift your right leg. On that out breath, take another deep breath in, exhale, lift your left leg. And then reach your arms up to the sky. So you're reaching your fingertips up. Now I want to tap your right toes onto the mat and then lift. Inhale, tap your left toes, exhale, lift. And the whole time you're going to engage the pelvic floor as you lift the legs. So you're beginning to work those deep core muscles. So it's an inhale as you lower the right leg, and as you exhale, you really think about engaging your pelvic floor. So as if you need a wee, you're going to hold it in, you want to quickly activate those muscles, and then you can relax as you lower the leg. And this is just activating those lower abdominals from side to side. So you're also getting in some gentle oblique work too, which is the side of the stomach muscles. You're here for another 4, 3, and you take your time with this. Make sure you maintain that imprint. And last one, bring those legs back to a tabletop. Give your knees a hug a second, rock from side to side. We're just releasing the lower back. And then we're going to go into a dead bug, which is not strictly a Pilates exercise, but it's fantastic for warming up your entire core. So, yet again, you're going to bring those legs into a tabletop. Deep breath in. Exhale, tuck the hips. Inhale, then exhale, lift your right leg. Inhale again. Exhale, lift your left leg. That lower back stays on your mat. You reach your arms up towards the sky. You're going to take a deep breath in. Extend your right leg forwards and your left arm back. And I want you to flex that right foot as you extend it forwards. Exhale, bring the leg back in, bring the arm back in, and then you switch to do the same on the other side. Now, things that are important to remember here are keeping that lower back down. You want to maintain what we call the canister position. So the rib cage is set directly over the pelvis, really. You're not flaring the ribs out, losing that connection, or bringing the knees into the chest. You keep it really perfect, slow, and precise, this movement. And you want to gently draw the belly button down as you extend the leg, and again, you bring attention to the pelvic floor, so you're thinking about lifting that pelvic floor towards the ribs. Good. Going for another 4. Perfect. 3, 2, and last one, Trinny. Good. You're going to again give the knees a quick hug, rock from side to side, and this just helps to massage out that lower back area. Okay, we're going to bring the upper abdominals into it now. So I want you to place your feet flat down on your mat and your hands behind your head or by your temples. If they're behind your head, you can actually support your neck a little bit. And I like to bring my thumbs down towards my neck, which helps to give me cues to know whether I'm really straining my neck. Take a deep breath in, and you're going to exhale, just nod the head and lift the chest into the air just a little bit to activate those upper abdominals. And then inhale, relax your head back down. And every time you lift, see if you can lift a little bit higher. But make sure you're not pulling your neck or your head. You're really drawing that energy and attention into those stomach muscles. Good. And again, engaging that pelvic floor as you lift the chest, belly button draws slightly down, so you're activating the deeper core muscles, the transversus abdominis, if we're going to get technical about things. And again, lift. And we're going to gradually increase the intensity of this exercise. Exhaling as you lift up. I want you to lift and hold your next one. You're going to go for 10 little pulses up to the sky. So really creating that energy in the stomach area. Good. Another 5, 4, 3. You can reach your arms along if you want to. Lift and hold for 5. Good. If you want to support your head, you can do. 2, 1, 10 pulses up. Little tiny movements. If your neck is straining, you can relax for a second. Otherwise, you're going for those 10 little pulses. 2, 1, hold it for 5. So it's 30 pulses altogether. Hold it. 2, 1, 10 more pulses up. You lift, lift, 10 tiny little movements. You should really feel that burn now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. I want you to reach your arms above your head, reach your legs long, and have a really big stretch as if you just woke up, and take a deep breath in. Maybe squeeze the butt a little bit as well. That always feels good to release the front of the hip.
Yeah, squeezing the butt, that's a good one, Nat.
It is. Love a good butt squeeze.
Oh, yes.
Bring those arms down to the side of your hips. Okay, you're going to bend your knees and bring them back into tabletop. So you can either, if you feel confident to lift one at a time quickly, you can do, otherwise do it the Pilates style. Good. Now you're going to place your hands behind your head. You're going to bring in the obliques a little bit now. So to lift your chest, you're going to extend your right leg, rotate that body towards your left knee. Inhale back to the center, and then exhale, extend your left leg, rotate towards.
Rotate towards the floor. I think it's rotate towards the floor and then back, and rotate towards the floor and then back. So towards the floor and back.
I think my internet cut out then.
Towards
Sorry.
the floor, Nat.
So we're actually going into a crisscross or bicycle. So you bring your legs back to a tabletop and rotate the upper body a little bit. But I did say if this doesn't feel comfortable, because I know sometimes, what used to happen is your neck didn't feel good doing this one, then we can do an alternative.
I'm fine.
Great. Okay, so this one is fantastic because you're getting those lower abdominals working as well as bringing in the side of the stomach. So those obliques begin to fire up as well. Elbows stay wide, and if you need to rest at any point, you can do. It's quite a long abdominal series, this one. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate. We haven't isolated those abs for a little while though, have we? So this
No, we haven't.
So really reaching across the body. And then we're going to come into some little holds, just to spice it up a little bit. I want you to rotate and hold your next one if you can, just for 10 seconds. So little rotation, hold it for 10. Make sure the other leg is super straight. You're engaging those quadriceps. 3, 2, 1. Switch sides, hold for 10. Hold it for 8. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. You can lie down again, give those knees a little hug, and then again have a nice big stretch. And you can engage the glutes. Now we're going to come into your glute bridges, which is a great way of releasing your hip flexors as well as firing up the back of the legs. Okay, so your hands are flat down next to you, shoulders are relaxed. You're going to start off with a couple of pelvic tilts. So I want you to push your heels into the ground, tuck the hips, and just lift your hips off the mat by an inch. So just a few centimeters, engaging your glute maximus, the big gluteals at the back. And again, you're going to lift just a little bit and then roll back down. So we're focusing more on activating the lower abdominals and just slightly lifting the pelvis off the mat. Then as you get more comfortable, you can start to lift those hips a little bit higher. Good, lifting up, nice. And if you turn your toes up, sometimes you can take some pressure off the knees and feel more activation through the backs of the legs. So if you're balancing on those heels, you might feel that it's working a bit better for you. Good. And don't worry about how high you lift as long as you are tucking in and squeezing your bum. In fact, you can put your hands or push your thumbs into your butt when you lift the hips, just to make sure you know the texture feels different when those muscles are switched on. You're going to lift and hold your next one, Trinny. And I want you to go for 10 pulses up. So you're going to lower halfway, then lift up all the way for 10, 9, 8. Focus on that tilt rather than just seeing how high you can lift your hips. 3, 2, lift and hold. Good, really squeezing the backs of those legs. Then we go for 10 more pulses up. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, tucking in, 2, lift and hold for 5, and then we'll go for our last 10 pulses. Squeeze that butt, and let's go for 10 pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, lift and hold for 5, squeeze, 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 hold it, 3, 2, 1, roll down, give those knees a hug, rock from side to side. Okay, so our next, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to work on the side butt, so to speak. So you can just turn onto your side. So if you turn onto your, I always get confused with the screen. Which side are you lying on?
Now I'm on my right hand side.
Okay, perfect. So you're lying on your right hand side. Your knees are going to be bent towards your chest.
Am I lying flat?
You're lying flat. So you can put your head on your, just put your head on your arm.
And my knees are in front of me.
Your knees are in front of you for this one. You're going to start off with your feet down on the ground, then we're going to go through a series of exercises here. So we're starting with the clamshell. So you put your hand on that side, find that side glute area. You're going to lift the knee just enough to activate that glute, but your feet stay attached. So your feet are together. You're going to lift the knee and lower the knee, but you're not rolling back, so it's just enough to activate the muscle. Some people can lift their knee higher than others. It's completely individual, but you want to feel that butt is beginning to activate. This is the easy one. We're going to gradually increase the intensity as we go through these exercises. So it's an exhale to lift and an inhale to lower. Make sure you're not collapsing too much into the waistline. So if you
I'm trying to hold space in between my waistline because I just think Pilates-wise, I don't want to lay my stomach flat against the mat.
No, you want to keep
space there.
Exactly. Pilates is about encouraging your spine to be in a neutral position. So you have to activate your core muscles by lifting your waistline to maintain that neutral. Otherwise, what happens is your spine is just going to do this and relax, and your body's going to relax too much. Right, you're going to lift and hold that knee up. Now lift that, lift your feet. Sorry, you're going to lift your feet in the air. Both feet in the air. That's it. Sorry, knees are down, but your feet are lifted. Now you're going to continue the exercise, but with your feet lifted. So by now you should start to feel a little more activation. And as I said, but it's a nice gentle exercise. There's not any pressure on the joints. It's just nice and gentle. And it's so important to get the foundations strong. As you know, you've got to create those strong foundations, and then you can do the bigger, badder exercises.
I must say I love Pilates, darling. I mean, I have done Pilates now since I was 23. On and off, so it feels my body. Feels very comfortable with my body. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Pilates. I think everyone in their lifetime should do Pilates. It's an amazing way of training. You've got another 3, 2. Are you feeling it in your butt, ladies? I am.
Lift and hold that knee up, Trinny. You're going to extend the leg, bend the leg, lower the knee. Lift, extend, bend, down. And now it starts to get a little bit more difficult. I know, these exercises, they look so easy, but they are so acute.
Yeah.
You're going for another 3. Good. Go for 2 more. One more, extend and hold. Hold it there, little tiny circles. You've got 10 in one direction. It's the last thing you're doing. And then we're switching sides. Good. 5, 4.
Think of a high bottom, ladies. Think of high bottom. Think of a high bottom.
1, reverse that circle for 10. 9, 8, we're nearly there. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lie down on your back. You're going to cross that right ankle over your left knee. So if you're lying on your left ankle over your right knee. So we're going to just have a little stretch. This may be enough. Taking some deep breaths. And if you want to deepen that stretch, you can put your hands through that triangle and bring your right leg towards you just to deepen that stretch on there.
But I don't want to because it hurts.
But you've probably still got some muscle ache or some tightness there from your hiking in Scotland.
Yes, I'm just being a wimp.
You're not being a wimp. You're stretching after just working those muscles as well, which is always tough. Okay, stretch is over. You're going to go onto your left side now, and we're going to work on that right hip stabilizer.
Okay, how are you finding this, ladies? I'm really enjoying it, actually. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so knees are bent, feet are together. Take a deep breath in, then exhale, lift that right knee. Make sure those feet stay together for now. So it's just you're lifting the knee and lowering it. And it's actually great for increasing your lateral rotation at the hip as well. So which in turn takes a bit of pressure off those knees. So just lifting and lowering.
My knees are in front of me, right?
Yeah, knees are in front of you. So we're going for the traditional clamshell here. Make sure that waistline is slightly lifted. You're activating those obliques a little bit. You're keeping your spine as neutral as possible. Good. And you can always check that muscle is switching on by just placing your thumb at the top of it. You'll be able to feel it. You can definitely feel it.
You can definitely feel it.
Good. You're here for another 5, 4. You may find this side fatigues more quickly because you would have actually used it a little bit to stabilize when you were working the other side. 1 more. Now lift your feet in the air, but keep your knees down. Continue the same exercise, but your feet are lifted. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Good. So today we're just nourishing our bodies with gentle but effective movement.
Such a good expression. Nourishing our body. Nourishing, like, I mean, I've stopped my sugar since the walking, but I did have a lot of peanut butter last night.
You had a lot of what, sorry, Trinny?
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter, that's the problem. When we stop sugar, we crave fats then, because we just want to get that sort of...
I know, you just want to fill up somehow.
Yeah. And peanut butter is dangerously good.
I know, but at least it's not sugar. I mean, it was Skippy, so that really is sugar. I need to go for the healthy one.
Not even the good stuff, pip and nut.
Yeah, well, pip and nut is so dangerous.
Lift and hold. Now you extend that right leg, bend, and then bring the knee down. So that's it. Keep the feet in the air, but you lift the knee, extend the leg. Bend the leg, lower the knee. Perfect. Good. Now you're starting to feel a little bit of that burn. Good. Working with the breath as well, especially as it becomes more intense. Exhale, you lift. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lower the knee. Good. You've got one more after this. I want you to lift, extend, hold it there. Little circles, 10 one way. Little circles. Keep that leg nice and straight. Nearly there, Trinny. 3, 2, 1. Reverse the circle for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. You're going to lie on your back. Cross that right ankle over your left knee this time. And then we're going to go into a little spine rotation to stretch out the chest and mobilize the spine, as well as stretch out the hips a little bit. So you can deepen that stretch. Good, nice deep breaths. Holding for another 5. And now cross that leg over your left leg completely and bring your arms into that sort of cactus position. With that right leg crossed over, you're going to lower the legs to the left, look to your right, and you can place your left hand on top of your right knee. So you're getting in that nice rotation. Stretching out the chest and relaxing into that. So Trinny, I'm excited for how great you're going to feel not having sugar anymore, because you felt so amazing the last time you did those.
I know I did, didn't I? I know, that's how I've got to look at it all the time.
Yeah.
How great I'm going to feel without sugar.
Yeah. And then you start, and then physically you start to see the changes as well. Your body just looks tighter, I suppose. Back to the center. You're going to switch to do the same on the other side. There we go. And Lila's gone back to school now.
She went back yesterday. Yes, I know, and I missed her. It was weird because I've had her at home for 6 months. She was so excited to go back to school, and she always says to me, like a couple of days before, Mama, I don't want to go back to school, and she didn't this time. She was like, oh, I'm so excited, in the car, I'm so excited, I can't wait. At school, I'm so excited, I can't wait. And then she called me last night, and she went, Mama, I miss you. And I was like, I miss you too, but it's okay. I know you're having a great time. She was all right. She was fine.
Yeah, she's with all her friends now.
Yeah. And she's in 6th form, and I remember, you know, I didn't go to 6th form at school, so I left. And it wasn't a great plan, because it sort of just wasn't good for me. And I'm so happy she's staying there, actually, because she has such good friends.
Yeah.
And it just, you know, makes all the difference in the world to keep those friendship years, you know, 16 to 18, because then you really have those friends for life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right, you're going to turn over, place your hands under your shoulders, have your knees under your hips. So you're just going to move that spine a little bit, bring a little bit of fluidity into the joints. Good, deep breath in, flex the spine, and exhale, extend shoulders down. Good, and flex, extend. One more time, I want you to flex, then come to your neutral spine. You're going to bring your right shoulder towards your right hip, but make sure your hips stay tucked in just a little bit, so your spine maintains that neutral position. So as if you're sort of flagging its tail. So from it's going to look a bit like that from the side. So you're getting a lateral flexion for the spine. That's it, perfect. And then you switch to do the same on the other side. And then my favorite one is coming up because it really feels like you're nice and mobile. You're going to combine the two. So you're sort of doing circles with your spine. You're rounding it, then bringing it to a lateral flexion, then you come into an extension, then come into that lateral flexion again. And then you're going to switch to do the same in the opposite direction. So you create that sort of circle with the spine in the opposite direction. And just really think of your body as being nice and fluid and mobile, and there's no tension anywhere. Perfect, Trinny. Then you're going to come to your neutral spine. And I want you to, we're just going to go into a little bit of upper body activation. So your hands under your shoulders, you're going to round out your shoulders. You're going to lift your knees just for 10 seconds off the ground. So you maintain that cat dog position, but you're hovering your knees. Good. Belly button lifted. 3, 2, 1. Knees back down. Rest for a few seconds. And then we're going to do the same thing again. We're doing it for 3 times. So that upper mid back rounds out, hips tucked, lift those knees, hold for 10 seconds. And this just fires up the shoulders, and it's going to fire up the core a little bit too, as well as the quadriceps and the triceps. And now place those knees back down. We're going to go into the last one. I want you to lift and toggle those knees for 10 seconds. Good. Holding for 8. Perfect. Belly button lifted. 3, 2, 1, and knees down. Okay. You're going to, if you can, sit back onto your knees. So you're just going to have a quick stretch for the neck. So you're sat on your knees. You can sit up nice and tall. Interlink your fingers behind your back. Squeeze those shoulder blades together so you feel that you are opening up the chest. And I want you to look up towards the right corner of the room. Good. Tuck the hips in just a little bit, Trinny. And then you're going to bring your head down and look up towards the left corner of the room. Come back to the center. Shrug off those shoulders a couple of times. And then we're going to come into a little bit more ab work, but we're going to start to bring some spinal movement into this as well. So you're in a seated position. You're sat nice and tall. Your feet are around hip width apart. So that means the distance, so sort of in the center of each of your butt cheeks, that is hip distance. You're going to reach your arms out in front of you. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to start to tuck your hips and roll down, vertebra, vertebra, just halfway. Good. Shoulders are down, think of your spine as a C curve, and then you're going to roll forwards, reach forwards as much as you can. So you're rolling over those legs and lift those arms as you roll forwards. So you're lifting your arms next to your ears, and then you're going to feel a stretch through those hamstrings. Then you start to bring those arms down as you roll back again, just halfway. Belly button drawn down. Roll forwards if you're rolling over a ball.
So I think we're just going back and forth. So forwards, like we're rolling over a ball, and then backwards. And the thing for me is to not to make my tummy distended, but to keep it in and go down. And then go forwards, like I'm rolling over a ball.
That's it. Lift those arms. So my internet keeps cutting out this morning for some reason. And then you're going to roll back. Really tuck those hips. Make sure those shoulders are down. They're not beginning to hunch up towards the ears, so your chest is slightly open. And then roll forwards. And as you're forwards, I want you to try and lift your arms. So your chest is down, but your arms are up in the air. That's it. Then you feel more of a stretch. Then you're going to bring those arms back down to chest level or shoulder level as you roll back again. This time you're going to roll back and hold. I want you to take a deep breath in. You're going to reach that right arm over to the right. So you're rotating, palm turned up to the sky. Exhale, come back to the center. Inhale, rotate to the left. Look to that left hand. And then roll forwards. If your back begins to feel uncomfortable, place your hands behind you and bend your knees for a second and just lower your knees to one side and then to the other side. This is especially if you've done a lot of walking. If you did a lot of walking at the weekend, your back's probably still.
My lower back feels really weak.
Yeah. So this is a good way, you know, you're strengthening, and we'll come into another back strengthening exercise in a second. So when you're ready, you can have your knees slightly bent while you're doing this as well. It can be a bit more comfortable for you. That's it. So you're going to tuck your hips in, roll back, and we're going to go into that thoracic rotation, but it's also going to challenge the side of the stomach as well as work belly button drawn down. We've got 4 more of these, so 4 more rotations. Good, 3, 2, and last one. Okay, now you're going to turn around. We're actually going to work on a little bit of back extension now. So just very gentle back extension, really important to do. Lying flat down on your stomach. So you're going to lie down on your stomach, legs are straight, and you're going to have your elbows in line with your shoulders and your arms at 90 degrees, looking down towards the ground, shoulders set back. And you're going to just tuck the hips, squeeze your butt, and just lift the very top of your chest off the mat. Just to activate the back extension muscles. You can bring your arms a little more forwards, actually, Trinny. So if they're sort of just above shoulder level, that might be more comfortable. That's it. And then lift, draw the shoulders down. So think about lengthening your neck. And then relax your head back down. Good. And again, another 3 of these, just going into the back extension preparation. Another 2. Exhale. And last one. Good, then relax your head down. I want you to bring your hands down next to your hips. And you're going to turn those palms towards the ground, but as you're going to inwardly rotate, so you outwardly rotate the shoulder. So you're outwardly rotating, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, you're going to lift that chest off the mat, hips tucked, butt engaged, squeeze your shoulder blades together, keep shooting those fingertips towards your feet, and then relax back down. So with this one, you don't want to overly lift the neck, so you're not bringing the shoulder forwards and activating the traps too much. You're really thinking about expanding that chest, bringing those shoulders back and lifting the head a little bit.
Should your feet come off the floor?
Try to keep your feet on the floor.
Okay.
But focus on, because you don't need to lift that high. If you're lifting too high, you're putting too much pressure on the lower spine rather than focusing on the mid spine. Focus more on pulling those shoulders back to feel your back muscles working. You're here for another 3. Good, go for 2 more. Lift and hold your next one. You're going to pump your arms back, so you're activating those back muscles 10 times. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. I want you to rest in a child's pose now. So you're going to bring those hands forwards, you're going to push back, knees apart a little bit, and rest in that child's pose, pushing your hips towards your feet. And from here, we're going to take a lat stretch, so stretch the side and back. I want you to walk your hands round to the left, keeping your arms straight. Then you're going to place your left hand on top of your right hand. So you're pinning it down on the floor. Then pull into that right side just a little bit so you feel a nice deep stretch through the side of the back. And taking some deep breaths there. And then you're going to walk your hands over to the other side. So your right hand on top of your left hand, and pull into the left side of your body a little bit so you feel a nice stretch through that left side. Good, holding for another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to the center. Good, and roll up. Now we're going to come into Mermaid. Everyone's favorite exercise. So you're going to, if you are sat kneeling, you just slide your hips off to the left, bring those legs out, and bring your arms out to the side and make sure your shoulders set down. So if you're, then you're going to take a deep breath in, reach that, if your right leg is inwardly rotated, so it's the outside of that ankle turned up, you're going to go over to the left side. and vice versa. Then you're going to place that left forearm on the ground. You're going to reach underneath that arm, so you feel a nice rotation through the side.
I'm going the side towards my.
Sorry, Trinny, you're going over to your, I think that's your right side. That's it, perfect. Okay. And then you place that forearm on the ground, reach under the arm.
Okay.
Make sure the forearm is on the ground though, because then you can get a deeper rotation. That's it, perfect. And that should feel like a nice stretch around the hip, but also the lower back and that thoracic, as well as the mid-back. Come back to the center, and then you're going to push yourself up, reach over, really outstretch, and then lean. So you're feeling like you're lifting the rib cage, and then you're leaning over. Inhale, come back to the center. Make sure those hips are tucked in a little bit, because we tend to want to push our butt out here for some reason, but you want to maintain that neutral position. Good. Reaching under, come back to the center. Reaching up and over. And lean. Good. One more, and then we're going to be holding this stretch. Reach under that arm. Pressing that shoulder down towards the ground. Perfect. Come back to the center. Reach up and over. And then you're going to reach and hold this stretch. I want you to place that hand behind your head. Then you're going to take your other hand and pull on your elbow. And you're going to feel a really deep stretch all down here. Good. Make sure you're tucking your hips in a little bit. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Come back to the center. You're going to switch your legs around. And then we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. Arms out to the side. Take a deep breath in. As you start to reach, then exhale, reach under your arm. Make sure the forearm is on the ground. That's it. Last 2. Back to the center. Reaching up, arms along, and then you reach. The other hand is in front of the belly button. Come back to the center. Good, reaching under, rotating a little bit more each time. Perfect, come back to the center again. You've got one more of these. Good, so you're going to reach those arms long. Reach under that arm. Pressing that shoulder down to the ground. Good. Come back to the center. You're going to reach up and then place that hand behind your head and pull on your elbow so you feel a nice deep stretch through the side of the body. Good. Taking in some deep breaths. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. You can come out of that stretch now. Okay, we're going to finish lying down with a couple more stretches. And then you would have activated lots of muscles, but mobilized the whole body, moved the spine in all different directions. So you're going to lengthen out your left leg and take hold of the back of your right leg. We're just going to come into some hamstring stretches. I want you to inhale, bend the knee, and exhale, extend the leg. Good. Perfect, going for another 3, 2, extend and hold that leg straight. Good. If you want to lift your chest and activate the stomach a little bit, you can take hold of the ankle with your right hand and then the back of your thigh with your left hand. And then draw that leg towards you a little bit more. So you're creating that deeper stretch. That's it. Holding for another 5. For 3, 2, and 1. You're going to switch sides now. Good. Deep breath in, bend. Exhale, extend. Perfect, getting that nice lengthening through the calves as well as the hamstrings. Going for another 3, 2, extend and hold. And just as before, if you want to take hold of that ankle to deepen the stretch, then you can. Good, holding for another 5, for 3, 2, and 1. You're going to come into that rotation again. So I want you to bend your knees, cross your right leg completely over your left leg, arms in that 90-degree position. Lower your legs to the left, look to your right. Place your left hand on top of your right leg, just to push the leg down a little bit, and actively try and press that arm down to the ground. You should feel that you're a little more flexible than you were the first time you did this in today's session.
Yeah.
Because everything's loosened up, relaxed, warmed up, lengthened out. Good, holding for another 5 seconds here. Really relaxing onto the mat. Take a deep breath in as you exhale. You're going to bring yourself back to the center, and we're going to do the same stretch on the opposite side. Bringing the knees towards the torso, arms in that 90-degree position, and then lowering your legs to the right, looking to the left. And you can place that right hand now on top of that left knee. And that's going to help push you into that stretch a little bit more. And with every out breath, really fill the lungs, and every time you exhale, think about melting into your mat. So you're really letting every muscle relax. Holding for another 3, 2, and 1. Deep breath in, and then exhale, bring your legs back to the center. Bring your knees into your chest. You're going to give them a hug and to go for a little rock from side to side to release that lower back. Get a little bit of a back massage. That's it, perfect. And then you're going to turn onto your side, turn onto your right side, just to push yourself up without straining your neck. Then you're going to step forwards with your right foot to come into your hip flexor stretch. So we're going to lengthen out the front of the hip. Hips tucked in. Reach your left arm up. Hips stay tucked and lean to the right. You can gently pull on that wrist. Really engaging that left glute to keep those hips in that tucked position. You can push your hips a little more forwards to deepen the stretch. And then if you rotate your body a little bit, you may feel an even deeper stretch. Good. And come back to the center when you're ready. And you're going to switch to do the same on the other side. So you stretch your hips are tucked, glutes engaged, and you're going to lean. You can take hold of that wrist in your hand. Good, and rotate the body a little bit. And again, working with the breath. When you want to increase the stretch, you exhale. You're going to come back to the center and come up onto your feet. So you can place your hands down and take a step forwards. Roll up. And you're going to gently rock from side to side. Really feel that your head is nice and heavy. So if you're rolling down, you're going to hold that for a couple of seconds so you feel that your spine is lengthening out. And you can go from side to side just to, again, create that almost liquid movement. Okay, and come back to the center. Interlink your fingers behind your head. Bring your chin towards your chest and very gently pull on the back of your head, bringing your elbows in towards each other. And then that's it. So you're taking hold of the back of your head, that's it. So you feel that you're getting a little bit of a stretch, especially maybe if your neck's a little tight or your traps. Then let those arms hang long. You're going to roll the shoulders back a couple of times, just shake off the head a little bit. Take a really deep breath in. As you exhale, you're going to slowly stack up, really slowly so you don't get a head rush. Then roll those shoulders back, set them down, and you are ready for the day.
Now, that was so great. Really great, because I felt I worked out. It's a gentle, I know that we've got, I mean, I am aware of people who have got really fit with us and now they're thinking this is piddly, but I felt that. Did people feel that?
It's definitely, Pilates, no matter, is always tough, I think. Especially if you're executing the exercises properly.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Really feel it. You get that mind-muscle connection and you can just feel those muscles.
Yeah, that was fantastic. So good, Nat. Yeah, it was good. Okay, ladies, I've got to rush because I've got to have my 2-minute shower before I go on to Facebook Live. Bye, darling.
Bye, Trinny.